Yeah, it's basically the combination of two old technologies. There's been more than 500 air injection or oxygen injection projects, and they all produced hydrogen. And then my simple thought was, well, if there was a downhole filter that would only allow hydrogen to pass through, then you could produce pure hydrogen to the surface and leave everything else down there.
Mm.
And Ian said, I think such a thing exists. Let me do a little digging. And next thing you know, sure enough, there's a 85-year-old technology that's been used in the steam methane reforming industry. And it's basically, there are actually a few different ways to filter out pure hydrogen from a mixed gas stream. And at least one of them is fairly simple to install downhole within a well bore. So it's kind of the combination of these two old, well-known processes with industrial heritage that have allowed us to, come up with this new process.
So talk to us about, let's get to it now. Let's get to the meat and the potatoes of your technology. I think you have kind of a patent and a name for it, and just walk us through in simple terms, how does it work?
The basic process is elevate the reservoir temperature of an oil field until it starts to generate hydrogen. The lowest cost way to achieve this is to inject oxygen. And if you inject air, it's eventually not going to be a emissions-free process, but if you inject pure oxygen, it can be. And the reason for that is nitrogen does not participate very much in chemical reactions, but CO2 will. It forms carbonic acid, it goes into solid state as carbonates precipitating throughout the reservoir. And basically it deals with itself in large degree in terms of mass balance and things like that. So step one is build a big oxygen plant near an old, ideally, mostly uneconomic oil field. So the world is full of half-full oil fields that have reached their economic limits.
Mm.
So inject oxygen into that, stimulate these reactions. First, it's partial oxidation and oxidation, gasification reactions, and most especially water-gas shift give you a significant amount of hydrogen blooming within the reservoir. And then at the top of the reservoir, the gas is buoyant, of course, so the gases go up to the top, and you have a downhole hydrogen filter installed near the high point of the reservoir. So in that way, you can have a significant production of hydrogen from a new hydrogen production well within an old oil field that used to be somebody else's abandonment liability. So it's repurposing existing infrastructure in this new clean energy vector and taking advantage of harvesting this enormous amount of energy that's left behind.